Okay? So I just wanted to make sure that we established that. Ladies and gentlemen, you just answered my first question, and that is how many centimeters are there in 1 meter? And how many are there?
100.
100. So if you can, put the meter sticks down, and I want you to write this down. There are 100 centimeters in 1 meter. Okay? And these are notes that we're taking because when we go home and we forget what happened in class today, we can easily go back to it and review because our homework obviously is going to deal with the metric system today. Okay? Let's move on. So, ladies and gentlemen, earlier on, we established that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. The question is now, ladies and gentlemen, how many millimeters are there in 1 centimeter? Did we just answer that question? Yes, that is right up there. There are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter. So we just answered this question here. Can you read the third question for me? Giovanna.
How many millimeters are there in 1 meter?
All right. So if you know, ladies and gentlemen, that there are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, now I want you to tell me how many millimeters are in 1 entire meter stick. Okay? So I want you to get together with your partners, you two, you two, you two, you two, and you two, and discuss the answer for this one.
This is 1,000 and this is 12. I seriously did. Okay. If you guess it, half. Look, 10. Just double this. Double 100, 200. Look, check it out. There are 10 in each one.
I like the way you're thinking. Exactly, because I was about to ask you, how did you get that answer? But you explaining it to Jarelli is right on point because I was about to ask that question. Very good.
20, 30.
Be prepared to explain your answers, ladies and gentlemen, and how you got your answer. Okay?
I think it's at 1,000 because it ends in 100.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Please look up. All right. How many of you think that you were able to come up with the answer? Okay. Some of us were still working, right? Okay. Denzel, can you tell me how many millimeters are there in 1 meter? Switch, please.
200.
200? How did you get 200?
Well, we knew that there were 10 lines in each meter.
Okay.
So we just doubled the highest amount, which was 100.
Okay, so what he did was he said that he knows that there are 10 little lines in 1 centimeter, right? And so what he did was he just looked at 100 and doubled it. How many of you agree with this answer?
I knocked myself out.
How many of you disagree with this answer? All right. So Jarelli, explain to me how you got your answer here. First and foremost, what is your answer? 1,000. How many of you agree with that answer? You have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, so you changed your mind now?
I had it right, but he said it was 200.
Okay. Well, we'll get back to that. Jarelli, explain to me how you and Wendy got 1,000. What did you do?
Well, we know that the centimeter sign ended with 100, so instead we multiplied 100 with 10, and we got 1,000.
All right. Excellent. And that's exactly right, ladies and gentlemen. What she did was she and Wendy already knew that there were 10 little lines for every centimeter. So what she did was she took the easy way out, which is what? Quick addition, right? And she multiplied 100 times 10. That's what she did. Is that what you did, Justino? Okay, so what strategy did you use?
I guessed it because since there's 100, I just guessed it would be another, and then it would just be 1,000.
Well, that's a great educated guess. That's a great educated guess.
You should go to college
now. I barely can go to college.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and write this down in our notes, okay? So we know that there are 1,000 millimeters to 1 meter.
I'm sorry, maybe you saw this.
Cool. It's cool.
All right. Now we have a different question, okay? And decimeter came up on our list in our math message. But the question is, do we know what it is? Justino knows. Does anyone else from last year, the year before, this was introduced to you? Do you remember decimeters? Do you think it's bigger than centimeters? Let's take a look at the centimeters. Do you think it's bigger than centimeters? How many of you think it's smaller than decimeter? How many of you think it's larger than, I'm sorry, how many of you think it's smaller than a centimeters? How many of you think it's larger than decimeter? Justino? Justino, I think you're on the right track here. How many, and the question is, how many decimeters are there in 1 meter stick? Do you know what a decimeter is? What's a decimeter?
Decimeter is the thing between millimeters.
It's between millimeters and what? Kilometers?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know that it is. You're right in the fact that you say that it is bigger than a centimeters, and that it is. And I'm going to help you with this because some of you have probably forgotten. But a decimeter is every 10 centimeters. Okay? So given that, okay, I want you to tell me how many decimeters, bless you, how many decimeters are in 1 meter? I want you to discuss with your partners and explain to them. If a decimeter is 10 centimeters long, then how many decimeters are in a meter stick? You need to be prepared to explain your answer, Justino.
Okay, so you think it's 10 because every inch, every 10 equals 10, 20, 30.
It equals 1 decimeter, right? So every 10 equals 1, right? So you were right with your answer. You got to be prepared to explain your answer.
There's 10 decimeters in a centimeter.
Okay, looks like 1, 2, 3.
10 times 100.
What was your answer? How did you get 10? Okay.
Yeah, like 10, 20, 30. So it's like 10, so it's 1. Don't you see that this whole thing is like this? No, you're in the wrong way. Yeah, but so it's like just because it's so that means it's almost the same.
So it's 100. That's 100 centimeters in a meter stick. And from what I said was, how many decimeters are in,
So yeah, because
how many centimeters are in a decimeter?
If there's 1,000 millimeters.
I'm sorry, how many decimeters are in,
And if it's like 1,000 divided by 10, you get 10. That's no.
what's 1,000
Right?
divided by 10?
You were right. So that's what right there?
Decimeter.
How many decimeters is that?
So it's in 1 decimeter.
So it's like 1,000 divided by 100.
It's already been counted for you.
Better.
You're counting the lines, right? I want you to count the you're counting millimeters right now. I want you to count the centimeters. There are 10 centimeters in 1 decimeter, right? So if this is 1 decimeter, What's that?
I'm gonna say because each
2.
10
What's that? What's that?
represents
All the way until,
so instead there's
right, so how many decimeters now are in this meter stick?
10 little lines. Yes, because 10
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. The question was, how many decimeters are there in 1 meter stick? Someone I haven't heard from today. Dylan, have I heard from you? No? All right, so what did you and Omar come up with? 10. How many of you came up with 10? How many of you came up with a different answer? What did you come up with?
10,000.
10,000? How did you come up with 10,000?
Because 1,000 times 10.
So why did you multiply 1,000 times 10? What's your 10?
The 10, you said that there was, in 10 centimeters, there were decimeters.
Now I want him to explain his answer. Is that what he shared with you, Denzel?
No, because he didn't explain what was in the middle.
Okay. So what does the 10 represent? You said 100 times 10. What does the 10 represent? Decimeters. And then where did you get your 100 from? Yeah, you said 100 times 10.
Said 10 times 1,000.
Oh, 10 times 1,000. So where did you get 1,000 from?
The millimeters.
The millimeters? Does it say millimeters on here? So do you think you still did the right thing? So pretty much problem solving is looking at the question very carefully and see what it's asking. And right now it's asking about decimeters and meters, okay? Now, when I observed and I went around, there were some folks that were actually counting the millimeters. Millimeters are not on here, right? So I don't need to worry about millimeters. I need to worry about decimeters, and I need to worry about meters, right? So you came up with 10, Dylan, right? How can you, what can you tell us about your answer? How did you come up with it?
We count the centimeters we counted from each 10.
Okay.
And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, how many of you use that same strategy? Good. How many of you used a different strategy? Okay, and we heard from Justino, we heard how he came up with his answer. So ladies and gentlemen, there are 10 decimeters in 1 meter. So go ahead and write that in your notes. And we can write DM. DM. 10 decimeters equals 1 meter. Okay? Are there any questions so far? Okay? All right. Let's see if there's another question. Okay, so there aren't any more questions. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes it's a little difficult to remember all of this, right? Right? You have to think back, oh, how many centimeters are in a meter, how many decimeters are in a meter, how many millimeters are in a meter. Sometimes we forget, right? Even as adults, we forget. So what I decided to do was come up with a mnemonics for us to use so that we can remember it a little quicker, okay? And my strategy is, we know how I love chocolate, right?
Yes.
I love chocolate ice cream. I love chocolate milk. I love chocolate. I love anything that's chocolate. Chocolate cake, chocolate pie. If it's made in chocolate, I love it, okay? So what I've done was, in order for me, because in a few minutes we're going to be converting some of these into a different metric unit, what I've done is I've come up with a mnemonic strategy for us to use. Can anybody say or read what's up here? What does it say, Jashidi?
Miss, I drank chocolate milk.
All right. What do you think the letters represent?